Hi all, this is Dr. J streaming live from Long Island, New York, where the weather is cold, but not terrible. So it is heading towards the wintry months, and Dr. J is just going to have to wear warmer clothing, turn up the heat as high as it'll go. Have a little problem in this house with the heat. That doesn't go high enough for me. Anyway, the heat on Wall Street didn't amount to much today, as the Dow and the other indices were essentially flat. The biggest bang for the buck today was the IWM, or the RUT, up about 0.25%. The others basically flat to unchanged. Hey, Greg, how you doing? Did you go for your run in the icky day today that we had today? Greg is another Long Islander, and he's on with me chatting. Good to see you, Greg. So, Greg, did you do your park thing, your walk run today? Greg is very diligent about doing his walk run, and I wish I was as diligent, but this cold weather's too much for me. You went for half an hour, you're going to go later on again? Oh, that's pretty good, Greg. It's getting to be late. So I guess the park is lit up, right? I got your name across the screen, Greg Fratangelo, going later on for a half an hour run. Yeah. Thursday, look at this. Thursday, we got a real weather reporter here. 24 degrees and windy. Ooh. All right, so what we're going to do today is chart athx, and yes, I'm upset about that one, no doubt about it. I'm going to chart amrn, another one I'm upset about, amrn. So two of my losers for the first 3 days. Now two of my winners, CVM and acst. So we're going to chart them. We're going to chart Amazon, amzn, and we're going to chart the Dow Jones Industrial Averages. And then we're going to take requests like from Greg or whoever else I can squeeze in. So that's what we're going to be doing. Let's see if I can get this on the screen. Let's see if I can do this. Show. There we go. So that's what we're going to be doing today. athx, amrn, CVM, acst, Amazon, Dow Jones Industrial Averages. Now, athx broke support that had a double bottom at 121, 122, and it every day now making new lows, 118, 116, I think today. We're going bottom fishing on that one. I think the low on the year is like $1.02, and there might be some support at maybe at $1.08, something like that. It's very upsetting. It's giving me a lot of agita, making my hair even grayer. acst forum now. Yeah, do that, Greg. Thanks. Greg has been sharing the link because I've been getting a lot of views lately, and I appreciate that, Greg. We have, over the last year and a half that I've been broadcasting, about 120,000 views. That's a lot of people watching me in a year and a half. But it means if I go into the supermarket, somebody's going to yell out, "Hey, Dr. J," pretty soon. Okay, in any event, the most popular of our shows seems to be the Friday night, 7:30, Dr. J Spike and Friends. We're getting around 750, 800 to 1,000 views. And on my midweek show, I think last week I had 500 and something views, anywhere between 400 and 600. So that's a lot too. I also do a Monday morning Qigong show, and we get about 15 people live. It's Qigong for neurological diseases, where I concentrate on the brain, healing the brain, whether it's migraines, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, you name it. And migraines are not progressive, but certainly Alzheimer's and PD are. And I happen to own a lot of Parkinson's stocks, that is, companies that are developing Parkinson's drugs. Part of it is because I have a vested interest in seeking the cure. Anyway, when you get old, you have a vested interest, or older, you have a vested interest in seeking the cure for every disease. So it doesn't really matter. In any event, one of the reasons I like biotech is because it holds such promise for so many illnesses, for so many people. And it's exciting. It's an exciting part of the stock market to delve into and to trade because they're very volatile stocks. And amrn demonstrated that this week with a move from 26 all the way down to below 21 today on good news. Yes, you heard me, on good news. Makes you want to pull whatever hair you have left out of your head. But it was on good news, and I'll talk more about that. CVM went up for no apparent news. That's what we like. Went up to 9.25 today after languishing in the 7s for the longest time. So it made a quick move, a 2-day move. Velocity, yo. Velocity is referring to Dr. J's tweet today that I would sell some of my shares at yo 11. And that is the truth. I've been saying that for the longest time. Originally, when CVM was at 4, I said I'm going to sell a few shares at like 10 or 20% at 7. And I did, and I bought it back at lower numbers. And if I sell some, I'm going to probably sell 10 to 20% at 11, and with the aim of buying it back a little cheaper. And if not, that's fine. Let it go up to 100 before I can do that. I will have no regrets because I'll have enough left. So CVM, yes, has that potential. Greg, you're excused. Yeah, it says share the link. Great idea. I like to have people on live. So Velocity, you're into CVM? Yes, Velocity. I am invested in all of them, including the Dow via the diamonds, DIA. I'm also in more heavily in the IWMs and the SPYs. But yes, I'm invested in all of them. My biggest position is athx, unfortunately. My second biggest position would be CVM, followed by amrn, followed by acst. Amazon's in there somewhere. And you're just in acst. You're just in acst. Well, it's diversified. It's not really good to put all your eggs in one basket. So, if you like the fish oils, buy some of the other two. I know it's sacrilege to say that, but because most of the time when you're in one of those three, MTNB, acst, or amrn, hey, cabinet guy, most of the time, when you're in one of them, you hate the other two. And you make pejorative remarks about the other two. How's the Green Mountains treating you, cabinet guy? Is there any hemp left? No more, right? It's all gone. All the weed is gone. It's cold up there in them hills, in them there Green Mountains. You got your skis on, cabinet guy, or not yet? Do you go skiing? I want to know if cabinet guy is a skier up in Vermont. All right. Yeah, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to look at these particular stocks. Velocity, yeah, he's probably on StockTwits. You've seen me on StockTwits. That's how he said yo, I think. You're betting on Hayweaver and Pisa going, well, you mean Pfizer? I don't know. I'm betting on Pfizer buying amrn. I think there's an excellent shot they will. And in fact, they'd be crazy not to, because the price was knocked down for them. They're in a better position to grab some. I mean, the estimates are for 750 million a year next year, 750 million in revenues for next year, something like that. The estimates that the CEO gave the other day. By the way, I hate conference calls. When there was a conference call scheduled on Monday, I knew we were in trouble. Whenever there's a conference call, the stock goes down. To explain good news, bad news, don't matter, stock goes down. They should ban conference calls. Ski-stow. Uh-huh. All right. So anyway, I was reading some of the chats. I'm not going to repeat them all, but it distracted me. I think we should do our usual disclaimer that my opinions are strictly my own, do not constitute investment advice for your own due diligence. The same holds for all of my guests. So Cabinet Guy has an idea. It is not investment advice. If Velocity has an idea, it is not investment advice. If Greg has an idea, it is not investment advice. It's just his own opinion, and that's it. We're entitled to express our opinions. Let's get to the video charts. I'm going to share screen in order to do that. Oh, Velocity, can I show your moniker on StockTwits? If you want to reach Velocity on StockTwits, it's Godspeed to us, Twits. It's a good name, very good name, Velocity. Okay, let me get that off. Okay. All right, so let's do share screen. And we'll start probably with the Dow and move, or maybe we'll start with CVM and amrn. I'm not sure, but we got to get to the screens before I can start. And I don't want to take all night, so we've already been chit-chatting for a long time. Okay, where are we? Let's get to, looks like I have CVM and amrn up. One up, one down. Let's start with the down one. Ooh, nasty engulfing candle. I warned about this on StockTwits on Monday night. When I saw this, I sold my position that I opened middle of this candle, right about 22.50. I sold it right at the end of the day, whatever that close was. I got pretty close to the close, 22.88. So I took a quick loss because I saw it was going to form an engulfing candle. I didn't like that. That was enough to scare me out. I do have my original core number of shares, so I'm not totally out of it. I just lost on my swing trade, that's all. I probably, in retrospect, should have sold a little bit more, but didn't. In any event, I'm not that worried. I think there's two spots that it will stop going down. It looks like it's got further room on the downside, although it could move up tomorrow on news. But in any event, it looks like the 19 area and then the 18 area. So if it goes through the 19 area, we'll probably test the 18 level right about here on the 200-day moving average, and maybe fill this gap. Gaps like to be filled, unfortunately. It's like a magnet pulling the price down. So I wouldn't be shocked if we got as low as 18 and then had a ferocious rally back to where we were at the highs. Good for the traders, not good for Dr. J, who's sitting with his shares. I tried my swing trade and lost on this one. I did do a swing trade on AGRX where I made some money, so they kind of canceled each other out. CVM. Sell side. I originally bought some at I've been buying all along, but I bought some at 687 for a swing with a target of 775. We hit the 775, and I told Spike on Friday night, I asked him, did I sell it at 775 or did I change my mind? And actually, I changed my mind. So I put that away. I said, this is adding it to my core position, not selling that 675 group until we hit Yo 11. At that point, it'll be worth selling it. It's about 10% of my position. I'm drinking water. Don't worry about it. It's not vodka tonight. That was Friday night when I was celebrating prematurely on amrn. So I'm not going to celebrate prematurely on CVM. Let's just see what happens. I do think that it took out the high of, what's this high? What day? 10-7. Took out that high today. 931 was taken out. Therefore, all that's really left is the high at 993, the high of the year, which it has an excellent chance of taking out. I think Dr. J has an excellent chance of selling a few shares at 11 before data. In any event, what do I think will happen tomorrow? Obviously, it'll either go up or go down. But if I were looking to add shares, I would look to add right about here, right about at the high of this candle from 1011, right around 875, 880. It would be a decent number to add some shares on a pullback, small pullback, 45 cents, something like that, which of course is 5%. So I expect a 5% pullback, quite likely. That's nothing. I mean, it could do that and finish up on the day. So I think if it does that, that's a gift. It looks to me like these two green candles have a lot of meaning, especially notice they come on higher than average volume. We've been very sluggish in volume, picked up on Tuesday, picked up even more today. So that's really good signs on really strong up days. So I like it. Am I upset that it hit the overbought territory? No, not upset. I'm happy. It shows that it's doing well, 78 on the RSI. And it could stay, don't forget, it could stay in overbought territory for a long time. So I'm not that worried. Even if it pulls back to 65, that might be okay, and then rally back. So I like it up around the overbought territory area. If it goes above 80, it does concern me a little bit. That's why I think we are ripe for a little bit of a pullback, 5%. Okay, so the RSI is one of the reasons I think a little pullback is quite likely. And on a big pullback, it would probably come up to this area here, the high of the day on 1120, which is at 8.25. So that would be the second pullback, 8.25. There we have it. So 875 or so, 8.25 would be the next support. All right. That's enough talking about CVM, I guess. We're all in a wait state for news. The news being the end of the head and neck cancer trial, which is long overdue and coming, which is good news because the primary endpoint is to extend life. And it looks like it's doing that. The secondary endpoint is quality of life, and it probably will do that. And the tertiary endpoint is shrinkage of tumor, which I think it'll do as well. I think all three endpoints will be met, and it's just a question of how the street views the news, how the stock is priced at the time of the readout. To me, it could, even though usually on news these biotech sell off, this could be the opposite. It could zoom. So we'll see. I don't expect a sell off like we got from Amrn on good news. By the way, Amrn did have good news with an expansion of the label. I forgot to say that. I forgot to say why I was so enthusiastic on Friday. But you can always watch my vlog on Friday to learn why I was so enthusiastic. If I was coherent despite drinking my vodka while I was speaking. I don't normally do that. It was just, an unusual occurrence for Dr. J. All right, let's look at something else. Another thing that maybe to depress me, athx. This one has been sliding, even though I'm very high on it long term. Short term, it does look weak. athx, as I said in the intro, broke through support at $1.22. And where are we now? We're making new lows on a daily basis on rising volume. Very bearish scenario. And where she will stop, nobody knows. That's really the truth. When you're going bottom fishing, I mean, maybe it's hit bottom today, but the odds are it hasn't. So let's look at the 3-week, get a bigger interval here. Not the 3-week, the 1 week. Not the 1 week. All right, so the weekly, move it a little closer. All right, so here we have the lows back here. What date is that? 1/23/17. Wow. And it was $1.02. And it looks like it may not go that low, but it is an excellent chance it goes down to about this level here, which is close to it, about $1.08. So I see the lows holding. I can't see it not holding because just like CVM, time is on athx's side as it gets closer to data being read out on its various clinical trials for multistem. ARDS is going to probably be first, and then the treasure trial in Japan for ischemic stroke probably be after that, and then the master's trial in this country for ischemic stroke. We're going to get a lot of data readouts over the next year to year and a half. And approvals in Japan coming first. I think we'll be the first major first company with a major stem cell indication, namely ischemic stroke. And that could be good for lots of money. So this one has tremendous potential, tremendous. It's just in the meanwhile, the problem is, you got to face constant dilution. They just diluted with Aspire Capital. So I don't know how many million shares they sold them. It's very, very upsetting, to say the least, but that's part of the game, so to speak. So when you believe in something and you're buying it because you believe in it in the biotech, you may be hurt because timing is everything. If you're buying it at these levels, you're a genius. But if you bought it at $1.80, $2, up around where I started buying it, then you're not a genius. My average, I think, is 170. And I'm very skittish about adding more at this point because it looks like, you don't quite know where the bottom is. I'm not going to sell any because I'm heavily invested in this, emotionally as well as monetarily. So I just keep it and we'll see what happens, see where it goes. And that's it with athx. Nothing much more to say. There's no news. The sharks can feast. We're getting shark attacks led by a infamous blogger by the initials. I won't even say his initials. You all know who he is. There's a well-known, infamous blogger who loves to attack biotech stocks. Probably at the higher of a hired gun, I think, hired short attacker. All right, anyway, I'm not going to say his name to give him more credence or publicity. Let's look at, what else did I want to look at? Something good, acst. Acst, I made money on this week. See, I lost on amrn, made on acst. All right. One hand washes the other, so to speak. Not really, that's not the right expression. But when you're in a lot of stocks, you make on some, you lose on others, and in the end, not in the end, but in the middle, where I am now, so to speak, they balance out. So acst had a nice run this week. This is the weekly chart. I want to look at the daily. It had a nice run over the last 3 days, actually the last 2 days, not today, but let's take a look at it. It's had a nice run for the year, really. Okay, so look at the last 4 days, trading days: Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Friday, it had a huge pop along with amrn. Whereas amrn gave back a lot on Monday, this did not. And on Tuesday, it rallied even more. And it took out some very key levels. It took out the level from 1120 of 235 with a close at about 240. And today, it lost a couple. Did it lose pennies? No, unchanged on the day at 240. Had another nice day, actually, because it was, well, it was always, was it in the green? Or it was most of the day in the red, although it certainly had a solid green candle because it opened lower. So it's interesting. The volume kind of tapered from Tuesday's big day. I like the volume on Tuesday. We're awaiting data. If the data is good, I believe this one could rocket. And that would put us, rocket above the high of the year, which was 295. So this one on really good news, really good numbers from its clinical trial, could go to $5 almost overnight, but it has to have really good numbers. And I don't know if it will. I don't know that it won't, but I'm in it to win it, so to speak. Not in it as strong as I'm in amrn, but it's a backup position. That's how I view it. What else did I promise? Let me stop sharing screen so I can see if anybody has a real strong request. Go back to the chats. Okay. I'm occasionally game for a swing trade, although I'm also holding stuff for a long time. So I'm an investor and a swing trader. I'm not a day trader. Occasionally I will make a day trade because it's basically a swing trade gone bad if I do that, or a swing trade gone really good. Then it becomes a day trade, but very rarely. Okay. Well, I don't see any requests, so I'm going to do Amazon and the Dow and call it a night. Go back to share screen. And I'm very bullish Amazon. My little slogan is "When in doubt, buy Amazon," because it's essentially the case. If I have some money to put to use and I don't know what else to do with it, I buy Amazon because pretty safe stock, and usually get a little run on Amazon. Little pretty good return on Amazon for my money through the years. All right, Amazon, AMZN. I wish I had held my original Amazon that I bought as low with really low numbers way back in 2000, but I didn't. Around 2000, I'm not exactly sure when I owned Amazon. I owned it so many times and sold it so many times, but I liked the chart back here on Friday. I said I thought it was a buy. It's now finding support at the 100-day. The 50 looks to me like it's curving up, like it wants to cross the 100. When it does cross the 100, buy, because then I think it's going to be all systems go on Amazon. We had a little bit of a give back day today, but not much. Gave back 0.37% or $6 a share to 1784 after a nice run. So we have a nice run going. I think it will run at least to the 200, 1821 area before it has a test. And if it passes that test and goes through 1824, then it's off to the races for Amazon. So my key level is 1824, 1825. I'll be adding more Amazon at those levels. In the meanwhile, you can trade it up to 1821, I think, pretty safely. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait. What else did I want to look at? The Dow. I've been looking at the Dow all along. It didn't do much today. It was flat. So maybe we'll look at something different. All right, we'll look at the Dow. Dow Jones Industrial Averages. Making new highs almost daily. Did it fail to make a new high today? 28,337 on Tuesday. 28,328. So we made another new high. I just love the Dow. I mean, it's going to keep making new highs. I don't see why not. All the way to 30K. I mean, naturally you'll have your 3 to 5% pullbacks along the way, but not too many of them. Maybe we get a 3% pullback. The Dow is running to 30K. Exactly when it gets there, I don't know. It doesn't look like it's going to get there by Christmas, but it should get there by sometime in early January. That's according to my figure. This is a pretty steep trend line. So it's following a steep trend line up, continues to follow that thing up. We'll be at 30K in pretty much no time. And I believe that's where we're going, at least 30K before any major correction. And I think we have a lot more legs to run after the 30K. What about geopolitical events? I don't see any that seems to be derailing this rally. So the market is immune to Washington antics, to Washington impeachments, to Washington anything. It also seems to be immune to any world events at this point, Brexit, anything. So it's shrugging everything off, the American stock market is, and is going up to new highs. It may actually increase in velocity, unless, I mean, Washington could throw it for a loop should something strange happen and Donald J. Trump actually be removed from office by the Senate. That would throw it for a temporary setback. I don't even think that would derail it. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm saying it's a long shot that happens. What should happen is what everybody's saying is going to happen. He'll be impeached by the House and not get the necessary majority of 67 senators to remove him. So that would be pretty amazing if that happened at this point. Okay, so enough of politics, enough of everything. I think I spoke enough. I spoke enough. I pontificated enough. I didn't get any requests, so I'm going to stop talking, I think. I charted 6 names. That's enough for tonight. We'll be back on Friday with a bunch more. This is Dr. J for Spike and Friends, for Greg, for Velocity, for Cabinet Guy, for Clarence, who didn't show up tonight. Clarence is getting marked absent. For Lynn, who tried to make it, but she's late. Right, Lynn? All right, leave me a comment if you couldn't make it. I haven't been getting enough comments. Thank you for the 22 thumbs up. I asked on Friday for 20. I got 22. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So if I could have 20 more, that's great. And I've been getting a lot of new subscribers. That's really fantastic. So if you haven't yet subscribed, please join the party. We have a party every Wednesday after the market close around 5 p.m. And we have another party Fridays at 7:30 p.m. This is Dr. J streaming live from Long Island, New York. I want to say sayonara, shalom, au revoir, arrivederci, ciao. See ya.